Welcome back to the only political asylum application that you could see on YouTube, live, without. See, I'm not editing these days. Mistakes, nobody's perfect. I could make grammatical mistakes, some word mistakes in English. I'm not perfect, you know. I did not speak English since 2006 when I left. That affected my English too. 2006 when I fled to uh, Central and South America, and I stayed, in Spanish-speaking countries among my Spanish brothers in all these countries. And then when I was deported, refiled to the USA, I didn't go talk to, I didn't speak English with people. I was confined in the apartment, uh, and then uh, they turned electricity on me to kill me from heat exhaustion. That's the last attempt of my life in the USA. Then I had to leave. And, mostly I am among uh, non-English speaking people. But anyhow, but when I write, I do have Microsoft Word 2002 and corrects my English mistakes. And, I'm bilingual, Arabic. Okay. So, anyhow, so the whole thing, the whole case, the whole raid on my house has to do with the September, has to do with actually it has to do with the September 11 information that's in my lawsuit, part of it in this lawsuit against America Online, Noah versus AOL. So they want to know if I knew that the whole thing was about this case, that the FBI raid, the reason behind it was the AOL case. And thanks God, at that time I didn't know. See, it was a divine intervention that I will not know. So to uh, be less hard on me and we see that they kept trying, even when the case got dismissed later. Uh, After all these things happened, in order not to refile it. So what we have here, I have showed you this. This is the lawsuit that you see online by findlaw.com. See the case number? Okay. You see this is the case? Okay. This was dismissed. By whom? By the attorney. Did he ask me? Did I consent? Did I say okay to dismiss it? That's against the law. But there's no law in the USA. So he dismissed it. And they were after me in order not to refile it. Attacks on attacks on what I've told you what happened in the court. Before that, when that informant called and told me I'm going to call the FBI, tell them that Saddam Hussein sent you to learn how to fly aircrafts through buildings, and the police did nothing, the FBI did nothing, and then I took him to the court. I got order protection against him. Then it was attempt on my life, in the court. Imagine. So anyhow, and they just didn't want me to refile. The refiling was around September 2nd, 3rd that I could refile the case of 2002. And all these attacks happened days before, all these attacks on my life happened days before that date. So I will not refile the America Online case. So the case that was filed that you saw by my attorney was dismissed. But after that, when before I was kicked out of my house on September 3rd, look, see this color stamp. This is the original color stamp. I refiled. Look at the case numbers is different before different judge. Now TSE, TS Ellis Yes, I was the third. So I refiled this case. They didn't want me to refile this case by any means necessary. How did I do it? Am I Superman? No, it's him upstairs. He wants this case to be refiled. Look what it says. Plaintiff Saad Noah pro se. Pro se means I'm representing myself and the class. Okay? Saad Noah. Plaintiff. See? September 3rd, 2002. An attempt on my life in the court. That's when the judge stood up and shouted at me, "Get out of my courtroom," was when? August 28th, 2002. How many days? About 5 days before that. So there was an attempt on my life. So I will not refile this case. See? I refiled it. I did. Allah refiled it through me. Okay? See the signature? Who signed it? August 30. Saad Noah. This has to do with the see, August 30th was sent out by mail, and on September 3rd get file stamp. Takes time to mail it from Illinois to Virginia. So I sent it around August 30th and got filed when on see, it's 29 pages. It was stamp filed on September 3rd. See, it's the same, almost the same lawsuit that was drafted by my lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, but I learn. So I copy from my lawyer, you know. And this is life. You learn. You copy. So I copied from my lawyer. So I refiled this case. What happened? You know, the attacks on me. And this was on September 3rd. What happened on September 6th? September 6th, 2002, 3 days after that was filed. Remember? I filed the other lawsuit against, against Will County. And that was dismissed on the same day. Case number 02 CD 6349. So they said, let us get this guy. What could we do to stop him? So now, on September 6th, they kicked me out of the house. You know, my office is in my house. So I became homeless. So what shall I do? How could I prosecute this case from the street? Could I do it? That was their plan. With all this trouble and problems, my children, they get beaten up on daily basis. This is their life until they grew up and they were able to defend themselves. My little son, my little boy, he was not allowed to go to the house. Imagine, he was homeless. He cannot go to the house until his mother is back from work at 12 o'clock at night. So where he's going to stay? Outside. You know, child, 13 years old, outside on the street. What will happen to him? They destroyed that boy. They destroyed my other boy. The second one. He got beaten up. I showed you his picture. He got beaten up. All the time. So he wants to protect himself, but he gets beaten up. Starvation. Verbal abuse. Physical abuse. Sleeps on the floor. That's what they were doing to my children. My children call me crying. The government don't allow me to help them. The guns are on my head. I cannot. And then I have this case against America Online. What am I going to see? What am I going to do? Him. Or how he's going to help me? The one whom I am defending.